BaitmanJr is in the house. We're doing a quarantine stream. And we got some new stuff, and I'm bored. I didn't have to work overtime tonight, so I decided to get on YouTube because you've been doing your schoolwork at home, haven't you? Is Daddy a good teacher? Yeah. So we want to talk some baits, I guess. We're going to talk about anything. Let me get the chat going on here.
Shut the door.
Yeah, shut the door. Neely's being kind of loud, don't you think? We got us a little code red here. I usually don't stream during the week, but I've kind of been slacking. So I decided, well, I'll just jump up on the YouTubes for a little bit. I don't know. I got plenty of time tonight. I don't really have anything better to do. I'm going to pop this chat out so I can answer some questions. So do me a favor, guys. Smash that like button. Lockdown, freestyle bass fishing. My man, Jared. What's up, dude? Lockdown is... I'm not really locked down because they technically consider my job essential. I guess people have to have windows, and that's fine. I'm going to get paid, and I'm going to take them Trump bucks, and I'm going to buy me some more reels. What's up, Matt Ford? But I got my 6 cent super sack in today. Finesse Bait. That's a great name, Dustin Taylor. That might be your new name, Finesse Bait. So we're just hanging out. I got my new 6 cents Super 6 sack, and this month was really cool because they gave you one of these bait bags, which is great because I literally just ordered 4 of them this morning, and now I got one. So, I'm always trying to keep organized, and yeah, I'm probably going to put a lot of baits that aren't 6 cents in here, but I like this gray one. It's got a little blue on there, so if you have a little estrogen in your family, they'll like that too. But this is what they put in the box. It's actually a really good Super 6. This is the premium one this month. They put this card in here, which if you're watching this, you won't need this card because I'm going to tell you all about them. So just right off the top, one of my favorite baits they make, straight up. 6 cents Divine Swim Jig. Blue Truce Flash, so it's kind of like a white, some chartreuse, a little blue in there. You can put your favorite swim jig trailer on there. Here, BaitmanJr. I'm going to get this one out of the package.
Can I hold it?
Yes, you can hold it. I always put these rubber bands on the skirt. Put that one out there so the people can see it.
On the head?
Yep, you can hold it by the head. Hold it up close. There you go. I always like their swim jigs because they put these clear weed guards on there. And I know some guys here, they actually just cut the weed guards out because they fish them a lot in open water. It's got a good hook on it. And got that screw lock. Good job, BaitmanJr. Oh, I just hooked myself. But I always love the head design on these things right here. This is a really good color. You can throw this anywhere, up north, down south, wherever. Imitates a shad. You can get a little bluegill imitator out of it. When was the last Baitman box I did? I just did a spring box about 3 weeks ago. So probably probably the 1st of May, a new Baitman box will come out. That's right, Matt. I drink a lot of sun drops too. Gotta have them aluminum cans. So got you this little swimming jig here. Let's see what else they put in here. This is a cool bait, and this is one I do not have. So this is the Crush 250 Mini MD. And you know I'm a big fan of the Lucky Craft Skeet Reese Fat Mini DR. Brian Pope, I actually use on a swim jig, I use many different trailers. I use a single tail grub. I use a Rage Menace grub, all that stuff. Clay, yes, you can. You can buy a Baitman box. It's on the 6 Cents website. It does come with a Jank Juice bait in it for this month. I believe it's the Crush 100X, and the 100X is sold out in Jank Juice. So the only way you can get the 100X is in the Baitman box, I believe. But there's the Crush 250 MD, and very nice, small, kind of like a Bandit 200. This is good threadfin shad. I really like this bait. I'm glad they sent me one because I didn't have one, and I was always wondering about. I love finesse crankbaits, and I know it's kind of getting close to April, but there's a lot of places, especially here in the Midwest, because Kentucky Lake's not technically south. It's not really. It's almost Midwest. That the water temperatures still down that low to mid 50s. Our water temp really went up today. Water's coming up. You can still catch a lot of pre-spawn bass on these small crankbaits. Really like that one. Good pond bait too. Yes, sir. I bet the bass are pouring in Jonathan Creek too, man. I need to get out there. I'm gonna try to go fishing Saturday. I'm in a little pinch though. I sold all my reels. I've only got like 3 reels, and I've got like 12 rods. So I think you'll get to fish the BFL this year. I'm actually thinking about fishing a few as a co-angler if I can, William. It just makes more sense to me. See what else they threw in here. Oh gosh, this is a good-looking bait right here, Brooks. Can I open that? Yeah, I can open that. There you go. Get you some of that orange drink. This is a Crush 50S Silent. So silent square bill. We all like silent square bills.
Right.
Look at that guy. Neon Sunfish is the name of that color. Yes, I was right. I know my colors. That sucker would be really good if you're a guy that likes throwing perch color crankbaits and stuff, or bluegill. Man, dirty water. I really like that. That's a color I don't have, so really excited about that. Throw that in my square bill books. What do you think about that one, Baitman? BaitmanJr.
Okay.
Finesse Bait. What color's that?
On the top?
Yeah, what color's on top?
Green.
Green. What about the sides?
Black.
Yeah, and what else?
Green and orange.
And green and orange.
I
Yeah.
like the orange on the bottom.
You like the orange on the bottom? What do you think that is? The throat? Yeah, throat of the bait fish. Good job. Yeah, man, 6 cents. Their Super 6 sack is. They've really stepped it up. I'm not. I was with Mystery Tackle Box, and I'll say nothing bad about them because they treated me fine. But I like that. Out of all the Super 6 sacks I've got, and trust me, I got about everything 6 cents. It seems they're putting good quality stuff in there, and it's not just stuff they're trying to discontinue or get rid of. MX Bass, yeah, man, they make it in all kinds of shad patterns. I got shad pattern 50X's right behind me. This is just off the back of my shelf. Check this one out. This is a good one. This is the Gillikin. That's the Ben Milliken color. Jank Juice. And then I got shad patterns somewhere else. But they got so many good colors in that square bill. Dude, Junior tears up that orange Crush, man. What's up, Thomas Hines? Chad Zone, no, sir. Not at all. I'm not affiliated with any tackle store whatsoever. That's a good question, Chris. I know Scott Tim really well. I think it's just as simple as, it wasn't a top seller, and sometimes, us as consumers really like a certain color, but from a manufacturing standpoint, it's just not a powerhouse seller. And there was another color they made that's a lavender shad that I really liked. I threw a lot, but I don't think it was a giant seller for them. So, but you can always ask Tim if he'd pour you some custom ones up. Oh no, Chad, I didn't take it that way. No problem, man. What's up, Dan the man? Let's see what else we got in here. Oh, we got a swim bait. This is the Speed Glide. I showed that off on the swim bait video. So that's a great beginner's swim bait. It only weighs 7/8 of an ounce. It's pretty light. I recommend using just whatever rod you're going to throw a square bill crankbait on. You don't have to have a giant swim bait set up on this thing right here.
It actually looks pretty good.
It actually looks pretty good. What do you think? You're swim bait, man. You like that?
Mm-hmm.
What's that imitate? A shad? Yeah. All right, and our last bait.
Wait, I like it. Like it has like this thing on it, like
A feather?
No, like this.
A skirt?
No, like this right here.
Yeah. Brooke says he likes it because it's got a feathered skirt on the back. Why don't you talk about Big O crankbait, all-time favorite? I'm not a Big O fan, mainly because I don't have many of them. So, Bone Reactor's an awesome color. Now, this is the last bait in the Super 6 box. This is one of my personal favorite colors. This is Tiger Truce, and this is the 100 Silent.
Wait, you have that one?
I do have that one because it catches a lot of fish. This is probably one of the colors that originally got me hooked on to 6 cents bait, especially when it was in the Quake. I caught some great big fish 2 years ago on the Quake 70 in this color. This is Tiger Truce, great in dirty water. It's kind of the perfect blend of that, you know, the Raven red with some chartreuse on the bottom. Just a great spring color anywhere. Orange, red, black, chartreuse, dirty water, stained water. This is a great bait. Excellent, excellent color. That at one time last year was hard to get, so I'm glad to see them putting this in the box. Man, I wish they did make, after I've thrown the swank, I wish they made that color in the swank, Sean. So that's what you get in the Super 6 box this month. If you're interested in buying one, I could save you $10 on your first box, and use the code Baitman Super 6, and I just dropped it in the chat for $10 off on the Super 6 sack. And other times you can just use that code Baitman for 10% off on your order. I know you guys use it a lot. I've got a lot of emails from Casey and the guys at 6 Cents saying, man, we're sending so many orders out today. You guys are using your code Baitman, so I appreciate it. That's a good observation, Dan. Dude, I love their stuff. Yeah, I actually, Kid Iraq, it's funny, I actually sent Conrad a message on Facebook. I said, hey man, I appreciate you sending the guy my way on my channel. He was on my live stream and everything. And then he said, dude, anytime, I enjoy your stuff. And I told this guy you're one of the best in the business. So Conrad's a good dude, man. I don't know if I'm allowed to show this because I got some prototype stuff sent in the mail. I definitely know I can't show one of these baits. But this is a new soft plastic that's coming. And hopefully they don't kick my ass for showing you guys this. And they put a little juice on this. Kind of smells like licorice. But we all like the Divine Shaky Worm. Check this guy out. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, let's get Magnum. Let's play with this prototype. Give it about 2 months. This is a big old, it's a big worm. Basically a big Divine Magnum Shaky Worm, I would say. I have a feeling this one's going to production. So you guys that like the bull worms, stuff like that, you seen it here first on Baitman, quarantine style. Throw this on a big shaky head, Texas rig. Oh yeah. They sent me green pumpkin, which is not my first choice. Plum will always be my favorite in a big old worm, but this a catch. This a catch real well. I like how it's super soft and it folds around. You could probably put this on a Magnico rig and jack them up. So look for that this summer from 6 Cents. They sent me a giant bag full because they know I'll be throwing this thing. They sent me another worm. It's a lot different than that. I'm not sure how I'm going to like it, but that's prototypes for you. But, oh yeah, a lot of stuff coming from 6 Cents down the pipe. So, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up button for me. Floating worm, man, I got some here somewhere. I just use a regular Zoom methylate trick worm. Seanzy, I did see that. There's a new man's worm that has a spring in it, and it has some ridiculous action when it's falling. I gotta stretch my video out just a little bit. It's some really good action. So they put a spring in it, so when it falls, it does that whole shimmy thing like a Cinco, but it like 10 times better. Thomas Smith, the thing, I can't say its name, or they'll delete my video from YouTube, is holding up to 6 cents frog in China. As Donald Trump says, it came from China. What you got over there?
I'm going to put my baits in there.
You going to put your baits in there? Well, that's for your coloring pencils, Brooks. I got you a bait box over there.
Wait, that one?
Yeah, you can use one of those.
Okay. I'll use one. I'll put, do I have to put this in back? Go back and forth?
Let's see here.
Ooh.
Let's see. I should be heading down to Murray next week. Do you think there will be a flipping bite around Little River? Yes. I think next week is probably going to be one of the best weeks for Kentucky Lake in a while. I don't know if you guys follow my boy Jake Lawrence on social media. He absolutely smashed a fat bag like 3 days ago. He probably had 25 pounds, and a bunch of that, use one of these, bud. A bunch of that was in. Brooks is going to rig him up a Bass Mafia box full of his baits while we're doing this. So look, bud, you can take these out if you need more room, okay? But Jake has been really catching good on jerk bait. Oops, I might have said too much. But he said that it's going to get even better this week with the water coming up and warming at the same time. He said it may be one of the best weeks the lake's had in a couple years. But my buddy Craig Hipsher caught a 9-9 on Kentucky Lake 2 nights ago. Absolute giant fish. Caught it on this bait right here. I just happen to have one. This is an accent jackum jig. That's what Craig caught a 9-9. What's wrong with my mic? I don't think there's anything wrong with my mic. Let me see here. My mic's set on my normal settings. I always have it on. Anybody else hear anything wrong? You may be hearing my washer and dryer, which is right across from me. It's vibrating. My wife, she's like doing laundry like it's going out of style. She won't stop washing clothes. All right, so you want to put that one in there?
Yep.
Why don't you put it in there with? Yeah, put it right there.
So like organized?
Yeah, Brooks is organizing his tackle in his Bass Mafia box. Uh-oh. Let me get all his stuff here so he can do that without knocking over the webcam.
And not like cooking it or something. That would
Here's your big old spinner bait too. Oh man. What's up, Robert Menace? Have you seen the new method they're using to get carp out of Kentucky Lake? Yes, that is the universal method, I guess they call it. Universal netting or whatever. They I don't think they got as much poundage out as they initially wanted to, and that's not saying the method doesn't work. I think a lot of the carp are just like any other fish. They migrate and move, and I think where they originally planned on getting this mass harvest, a lot of those carp had moved out of. I think what they're going to have to look for in the future is they're going to have people really scout these areas and be prepared to move around on the fly. Because if you say, well, a month ago there was 100,000 or 100 million or a million carp in, let's just say Smith Bay, and you set up this stuff a month later, that 1,000,000 pounds of carp may be gone. So, well, I agree. Back at Jonathan, Sled Creek, Big Bear would be an awesome place. Big Bear's just been ruined by the carp. So, dude, I do like those little bags, man. I've got 1, 2, 3 up here. I got a gray one, so that's my 4. So, I'm got one bag I'm gonna dedicate to basically Cincos. One's going to be my missile baits. One's going to be my beavers. And then my ringworms, which is my favorite worm of all time. And I want to have a bag that's just got a little of everything. So if I want to go in somebody else's boat, I just take that with me.
You know where those other baits are? The red thing and So what am I break, bro?
You won't be able to put the bag in that box.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, like something happened to my
Oh, that's mine.
Oh.
Don't worry about that. So you got all your baits in your box? All right. You got plenty of room for some other baits too. Brooks has got his Bass Mafia box rigged up. So you see how you do that? Watch. Well, Brooks has rigged it up. He's got his Booyah spinnerbait in here.
all organized.
So let's get this one in its own compartment.
Okay.
Got him his red crankbaits. Pretty proud of this guy. So this is Brooks's box. Hand me that marker. I'm gonna write your name on it.
I can.
All right, Brooks, write your name on there. I've never heard of Rebellion rods. You might have to point me in that direction. Status on the boat is I'm not buying one. I've got to buy my wife a new vehicle. And, man, my truck's paid off, and I really don't like making payments. So
You don't have that much money. That's why.
Did y'all just hear my son? He said, it's because you don't have that much money, which is right. I'm poor, so I'm not buying another boat. Maybe if my YouTube channel will take off and I get about 30,000 subs by the end of the year, I might get a boat, but I'm not gonna beg for subscribers and views like some people, like some of these pros. They're basically getting on their knees and slobbering for subs and views, and I think it's absolutely disgusting. I mean, YouTube isn't my job. I just like, be honest, I just like having fun. So what's the word you can't say YouTube will delete? It has to do with a virus, and it rhymes with my Sharona. And if you talk about it in your video, they demonetize it. And there's, I'm not a YouTuber where I'm making $100,000 a year, and I'm not worried about one video. I'd like making my $1.50 on a video, so. I hear you now, Thomas. I know what you're talking about now. The new Daiwa rods. Unfortunately, all the reels I ordered from Daiwa, they sent me an email. Can y'all read Brooks? Brooks Baxter. Well, bud, you misspelled our last name.
I know.
You put the E. That's okay. We're Spanish. Brooks Baxter. But at least he's got his own tackle box. That's important. I still got my first tackle box.
I know.
You know?
When you was like, when you was a little kid?
When I was a little kid. When I was smaller than you. What's up, Sycamore Outdoors? Do all the pro leagues cancel their tournaments? Yeah, I mean, Major League Fishing, they postponed the Raleigh event. Bassmaster postponed. I'm actually going to film Mark Menendez tomorrow. And it's, I hate to say it, we've been way behind because the weather's been terrible here in Kentucky. So it's good that we're getting caught up. But he said he thinks bass will fish late into the fall. So, but yeah, I'm actually shooting Mark for his TV show. I'm gonna be filming myself, but I am gonna try to sneak in some Baitman videos. I really need to get about 7 to 8, bait videos, because I don't know how long we're gonna keep it work if the governor puts us on lockdown or whatnot. So yeah, so I sent Daiwa sent me an email saying they won't be shipping any stuff for the rest of the month or until the lockdown in California ends. The only thing they're shipping is like stuff that's already paid for from retailers. So
I think there's that one right there, the last one. I think that one's fine.
that's where you want your box.
Yeah,
There you
that
go.
has enough room.
When they postpone the Kentucky, it needs to be taken seriously. That's right. So let's see. I'm going to answer some questions. That's really what I'm doing here now. I'm just getting on here and bored. Did you sell all Firecrawl jackhammers for $50? Man, no. But now the Brett Heights Hot Crawl, which I have, is going for the same price. And look, guys, I love jackhammer, but if you really want a fire crawl or a green pumpkin red, just put your own skirt on it. Let's see. Oop. Andrew Capel asks, I just bought a Tatula SV 103. Am I going to like it? You are going to love it. It's my favorite reel I've owned in quite some time. This is old school. I'll show it all the time. This is my favorite reel ever made, which is the Chronarch 100. To me, when I was growing up in high school, this was, I salivated over buying these. And at one time, I owned like 14 of these. I still think when this reel is tuned right, is the longest casting reel that's ever been out there. At the price point. And you can buy these for like $100 these days, but the Tatula SV is definitely probably my favorite reel that's ever been put out. I used to be diehard Shimano, but I'm pretty diehard Daiwa now. So you can't really go wrong Daiwa with Shimano, and Luz makes good stuff as well. So you guys in Tennessee have all non-essential business closed and social distance at play. Well, I'm in Western Kentucky, but it's really the same deal. Whitewell, I work for an essential business. They say evidently they say making windows is essential to the economy and construction, and I kind of get that. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of blessed that I have worked a lot in the last 2 weeks. There's a lot of people that haven't. My wife's been shut down. She cuts hair. And which is good because this guy doesn't even go back to school till like April 20th, so we've been doing school at home. So. But
we don't do school on Saturday.
No school on Saturday. Show him your tooth. Look at this guy. He's missing a tooth. Show him.
A lot.
Smile. And show him that tooth. Look at this. He gone. He gone.
I lost like 6 tooth.
6 tooth. The problem is the tooth fairy is not essential, and she didn't show up to give him no money. Because can't say that word. You can't say that word on YouTube. Dude, the old Sidicas are good reels, man. That's right. There's a lot of people out there that really like the word. The only thing I don't understand, and I'm not getting into politics, I work with people that have quarantined themselves and said they're just going to draw unemployment. I'm like, that ain't going to work. So, Finesse Bait probably would get some tackle from the Tooth Fairy. What do you think? Would you rather have money or tackle from the Tooth Fairy?
I don't know.
You don't know? You don't want to add more baits to your box? Okay.
Sure.
The good thing about now is he can stay up late with Dad. Hey, would you go find my phone so I can show them the picture of this 9-pounder?
Wait, you just got a donation.
I got a donation. Oh, Levi Howard Outdoors coming in with that $5 holla. Thank you, Levi. I appreciate it very much. We'll make sure we get Finesse Bait a new lure. Dude, Shimano makes great reels. So does Daiwa, man. It's really hard. Yep, that was Craig Hipsher. Oh, man, Craig. I'd love to get Craig on here to do a stream about night fishing. I think he'd do it. He don't live far from me at all. And Craig, I'll be honest, Craig is one of the most redneck guys I know. But he's a great guy, blue-collar guy. But, man, that dude can catch and fish. He's actually an excellent frog fisherman, by the way. A lot of people don't know that, but Craig is really good. I like the Mat 13, man. Those are really, really good reels. The old Chronarch 100, the Bantam, the new Bantam that came out a couple years ago. That's one of my favorite reels. I'm really excited about the. I don't know where my phone is, bud. It might be on the kitchen table. I don't know. What was the deal with your Insta? Okay. Yeah, so, long story short, Kentucky Lake is rising quite a bit. And anytime you're on water that's rising water, swift current, sometimes things are floating in the lake. And now this wasn't me. Somebody sent this to me and said, be careful with rising water. And there it was, a big old freaking rubber baby leg. And I thought it was funny, so I made the comment. This is Reaction Innovations, new bait. Dude, I met Andy Montgomery one time. He came in a tackle store, and super nice dude. He had a big old pack of, he had probably about 20 packs of lizards. And I was really nice, and he went over to the Daiwa aisle, was looking at Rod, and I said, yeah, it's got your name on it. And he just laughed, and he's like, yeah, it does. It's pretty cool, ain't it? I like it. Here's a picture of the 9-9 by Craig Hipsher, by the way.
I don't know how I knew that was it.
That is a giant bass. That was caught 2 nights ago here on Kentucky Lake, on the north end of Kentucky Lake.
How did I know that was it?
I don't know. But here's my Instagram story. This is the new Flesh Rocket from Reaction Innovations. Yeah. So this was floating in Kentucky Lake. So be careful when you're out there. You don't want to get deep donged when you're reaching into the water.
What does that mean?
It's pretty impressive, to be honest. I showed it to my wife, and, well, she had me send it to her phone. I gotta show y'all Jake Lawrence's photos, though. Now, this is on my personal Facebook. Dude, it's coming back. Y'all are gonna crack your pants right here.
Again, dropped it.
This is Jake. Check that out. Look at that big old brown fish. Alright? Look at those brown fish. Those are some freaking giant smallmouth.
How you say that?
Beautiful colors on them. Look at this largemouth. Look, it doesn't look that impressive right there until you turn it this way. That fish is healthy. And then check this out with a guy climbing. This is a different fish. That is a giant. That's a mid 8-pound fish right there.
That looks a mama fish.
It is a mama fish. And then another big old brown giant with Jake. So if you want to go on a trip on Kentucky Lake, y'all hit up my boy Jake Lawrence Outdoors. And he's going to Pickwick this week. He guides on Pickwick too. Check him out. And excuse me, I think we're gonna go fishing, but he says it's gonna be lights out. The smallmouth are biting really good. Believe it or not, the Kentucky Lake record smallmouth's like 9.5 pounds. It's actually pretty big. I caught, the biggest one I ever caught was in the fall in probably 2005. And a guy that's been on my show, his name's Matt Bryan. He swears up and down, we didn't have a net, that the fish I caught was 8.5 pound smallmouth. And it was gigantic. I'll put it this way, it ate a Lucky Craft LVR D10, and it was all the way in its mouth. And I just caught like a 5-pound largemouth. It was so big it could have swallowed it. It was huge. Dude, boat flip or die, man. I did see Tim Little flip that. So an embarrassing thing happened to me on Facebook. Speaking of tactical bassing, the biggest one I've ever caught that I got official weight on, Chad, was 7-1, and I caught that at night several years ago. And that's smallmouth. Largemouth is like 9 something, 9.4, and I caught that 3 years ago with Matt Allen. So Clear Lake has been shut down. due to the thing we won't talk about. So Matt Allen has been posting some stuff on his personal Facebook page. And one thing Matt posted is this is a 24-inch glide bait. So you see a S-Waver 200 right there, or 168 I believe. This is a giant glide bait. And this is where it gets embarrassing. I made the comment and I got roasted by Matt Allen, which it was friendly. But I've got to find it. Maybe they deleted it. Okay. So I made the comment, that's as big as my leg, because I'm not a huge person. Here's Matt's reply. No, it's as long as a normal guy's leg. It's longer than you are tall. They actually make a Baxter-sized version of this bait. It's called an S-Waver 120. And yeah, I got roasted. I owned my pwn though. My reply, gotta stay in my lane. Dude, Yankee Tanker Outdoors, what is up, my man? Matt Vale up in here. It is BS about the whole fishing thing, man. And I don't care if it's California or where. Man, let guys socially distance themselves. What better place than a freaking lake, man? Now, Matt, you may correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't at first they not close Clear Lake down and say, as long as you're local, you can fish? That's funny, Michael. That's funny. Someone did put that's almost as big as my dong, but I mean, it'd be quite a lie if I said that. Dude, Matt's a good people, salt of the earth, man. I like having people that I can have open discussions with. No offense to anybody, but some people are just kind of they're either going to just talk about baits or they're talking about this, and I like being able to talk about lots of stuff. I even thought about bringing in people for Baitman Raw that have nothing to do with fishing. But I'm just trying to stay in my lane, you know what I mean? I'm hoping to get Jay Kumar on there. Lake X, there ain't no rules. Hey Baitman, I remember saying you wanted to try some True Bass swim baits. Well, I ordered some. I didn't know how big the 7.5s were. Know how to set up or hardware throw them. Want them? I'm not a fan of the 7.5 on the True Bass. I like the smaller, like the 6 and the little head. I like those styles right there. Dude, I wish we could, if I could figure out how to do a Baitman call-in, we would definitely do that. Black Dog Baits, what's up, my man? I had the G2 on here last week. What's up, Mike Perez from Laredo, Texas? Mike, I like them Odom's jigs, bud. I like them a lot. Let's see. I try to be different, Sean. I'm not trying to be, somebody I'm not. I'm just an old country boy redneck that's got a problem collecting baits. And I probably collect more than I actually fish at times. But Google Voice. Thank you, Bee Fishing Outdoors. Guys, go subscribe to Bee Fishing Outdoors. Pretty cool deal. I met him in Knoxville a few years ago. He had like 10 subscribers. He's grown to almost 2,000 subscribers now. Saw him at the Classic. Super humble dude. Loves to bass fish. He actually makes pretty good content too. So y'all go over to Bee Fishing Outdoors. Subscribe to him. He does a stream every Wednesday night too. It's cool to see other YouTubers in here. And what's a good budget A-rig to start with? That is the Yum Flash Mob Junior. For $9 or $10, it's about the way to go. Personally, I keep a couple of those Flash Mob Juniors, especially if I'm going to take BaitmanJr fishing with me. I can rig him up a little A-rig, but for the most part, I'm going to throw the Hog Farmer, especially that 5R 8-blade. Dude, I would love if we weren't on lockdown everywhere, and I had some time. I would love to just like fly out to California, go visit Matt and Tim, come hang out with Black Dog Baits, go hang out with all these other awesome bait makers, and just travel and look at tackle shops, man. I think it would be awesome. Provoking ghost hot herring would be good. Where's my jerkin box? Uh-oh. Here, BaitmanJr. Hold this. Gotta get my jerkin box.
Okay.
So I've got a provoke that's really close. Damn, it's hot in here. You may have to open that door, bud.
It is hot.
It is hot.
Okay, when I watched, it was hotter than it was outside.
The heck?
It was hotter in the summer when we went outside.
What in the world? I want to show y'all this color. It's not ghost hot herring. I've got to get some treble hook colors. Oh, I hate that.
I hate when it gets like stuck.
Don't y'all hate it when these trebles get hooked up in the split rings? So this is Ghost Bone Minnow. This is the first color provoke I ever threw, and this is the one I caught a bunch of janks on my channel. So that's the closest you're going to have to ghost hot herring. This is a really, really good one.
My tackle box is not going to do that right now.
Got too many fire crawl jackhammers. He can play Colin J. What's up, my man? Hey, go get my candy dip. I think it's in my blue hoodie. Okay.
I'll go get it.
Thank you. Because I can. We are holding up good. I've got a runny nose. How many total Baitman boxes have I done? I've done about 6. If you want to donate to the stream, there's a button that's a super chat button below, and you just click that. You know, I don't beg for donations or ask, but if you feel like you want to send $1 or $20, I've had people send $100. You just push whatever in there. You can hook it up to your PayPal, credit card, or whatever. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I'm good with just someone donating baits. Yes, the Mag Dog is a really good bait, and they have it in this bait right here.
My tackle box is not going to be like...
This color is Ghost Pro Shad. This would be a really good one in the provoke as well. I like that translucent, but...
My tackle box is not going to be like that stuck to other baits.
Oh, yeah?
But when it gets 4 and a 4...
Dude, it is almost punker time, man. Let's see here. Gonna go back there and answer some questions. Go to Cali, get us a kayak fishing trip with Greg Blanchard. Greg's a really nice guy. I met him a couple years ago. I have not thrown a Terminator S1 spinnerbait. Sure haven't. I did make this one though. I don't know if I showed you guys. I took a... You may not like it. I've got to fix it, but I took an old accent spinnerbait and I put an old school push-on skirt on this. So I've kind of got that coleslaw deal, and then I threw a white dusted blade on here, and I've got to clean up this blade. You can use the stuff they use to clean chrome wheels on trucks with does wonders on blades on your spinnerbaits. It's like a Mother's car wash plated chrome cleaner. It's the best stuff ever for your spinnerbaits. But fixed this guy up. It's been beat up, but I wanted me a little dirty water slaw colored spinnerbait. I like that short skirt like that. Whew. Owner inshore A-rig hooks. Those are good. Let's see. All right, here. Let's see here. Whoa, Chad Zone. Looky here. Wow. Chad, you don't have to ever donate that much, but that is awesome. I appreciate the $50 donation. I think you need to send me an email with your shipping address, and I will send you a Jank Juice Crush 50X from 6 cents. So shoot me your address. I just type my email in the chat. For donation like that, I'll send you a jank juice bait. Really appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Let's see. I'll get back on topic here. Perkins Outdoors. I've never been there. I've heard some great stuff about that place, though. Underrated lipless colors. I tell you what, root beer, chartreuse, and purple has always been really good to me. And then the Rattle Trap made a color that's called Lake Fork Special. That's a chrome and kind of a turquoise blue with a red line. I really, really like it. All right, what's your recommendation for a 6XD C20 rod at the $100 price point? That would be really hard, but I believe at $100, I gotta think here. I think St. Croix makes a pretty good deeper crankbait rod. I'm gonna have to do some thinking on that for $100. Dobbins Fury 795 is a swim bait rod, but it's got enough bend, it'll work. It's like $109. Some guys are going to be mad, but the Ducket rods are actually pretty good crankbait rods. They're parabolic. The Sticks Fishing makes a $99 rod, a deep crankbait rod. It works really good because most of the rods are moderate fast. It works really good. I've thrown a 6XD on their, I think you call it the Power Sticks or something. It works really good for a crankbait rod. Sean Z, appreciate it, brother. $20, make them holla. The David Lew's Fritz Perfect Crankbait Rod, $79.99. But here's the deal. Right now, on Facebook, if you will join this group right here, James, I don't think you can get the previous Baitman boxes. I think once they go around, they're kind of done for. But go join this group on Facebook. If you want to save some money on Dobbins rods, go join this group right here, Dobbins Rods Community. This is kind of like the one that Dobbins officially posts on. Join this, call Dobbins Rods, and say, I'm a member of this group, and you can get 40% off any Dobbins rod that's in stock. 40% off. So you really want to get a Champion 765 CB that's a $250 rod, you get it for like $150, $160. You got to pay $25 shipping, but you could order 2 or 3 rods. You want to save some big money on Dobbins Furies? Dude, 40% off a $109 rod, that's like $65. You could buy, you're basically almost buying buy one, get one free. But that's something Gary's doing to really help out people that have been impacted, affected by the issues going on. And Gary was honest, said, hey man, I'm not getting a lot of orders right now. The economy's bad. I'm going to give back to y'all 40% off. I think it runs for another week, but you have to be a member of that group on Facebook, and you just tell them your name and they'll look it up on this right here. Well, Kid Iraq, I tell you what, you decide to order some Dobbins rods, you let them know that you talked to the Baitman, Kay Baxter, and say, and I know Gary, and say, tell him you're a veteran, because he already gives veterans 25% off, and I believe he'd do the same thing for you, get you that 40. So if I was going to get a rod, I would get a Champion 744. That's a great worm medium jig rod. I will look at the 765 crankbait rods, 734 or 735 are great rods in the Champion lineup. Dude, they make some amazing rods. Dobbins, Daiwa, that's kind of my favorite rods, and Loomis. And I like my 6 cents rods, and I like for $99 the Sticks fishing rods. They're great. I need reels. I'm like real poor. I literally have 4 reels right now, and one of them is a spinning reel. So I would love to I would love to work with Gary. Maybe he load me up with some Dobbins rods, but I'll be honest, I'm gonna load myself up with some more 6 cents rods. I'm really happy with those. So they got the Fury series at 109, which is one of the best price point rods on the market. They've got the Sierra series, which is kind of in between the Champion and the Fury. They've got another new rod called the Caden, which is in between the Sierra and the Champion. And then they got the Champion XP, which is the blue ones, the Champion HP, which is black and orange, and they got the Dobbins Ecstasy, which is on par with the NRX. So I have heard a lot of really good things about the ARC rods. Guys, one of these days, Uncle Sam has got to pay me my tax money, and when he does, I'm going to load up on a lot of different stuff so I can take it out and review it. I've got to get fishing. It's going to get right. So, dude, 765 is a great swim bait rod. Somebody else said that today on the Dobbins page. My buddy, Lake Blassingame from Pickwick, he said someone was talking about best swim bait rod. He said he loved the 765 CB for hollow belly swim baits. What's this? The bait list? List is spelled L-I-S-T. Fishing products. You gotta start putting spaces between your words, okay? Brooks is over here. He's writing down 6 cents. The best fishing products. The Divine Swim Bait. Strike King Flat Side is a great crankbait, especially the KVD 1.5 flat side. Not the 1.5 DD, the flat side. It's a really good bait. Yeah, Big Red Bass, join that Dobbins Facebook community, man. They'll take care of you on there. Damn, I wonder why ARCs were on sale like that. I've always thought they were really good rods. I've never used one, but I hung out with Randall Tharp at a show one time, and we sit there and pitched and flipped for like 15 minutes talking rods and just random stuff. And I really like Randall Tharp. He's a really nice guy. Yeah, man, I've really got to do a good crankbait video this year. I've got to do a lot of videos. Since it's Thursday night, I'm putting a dip in.
Always dipping.
If that daggum thing we won't talk about is going to take me out, it might as well take me out with the dip in my mouth. Let's see. Why is Dobbins on sale? I think Gary's just doing a sale to kind of stimulate his business, and he was just really honest and say, hey guys, I've got a ton of inventory I'm sitting on. The economy's, everyone's getting laid off. Let me give back to you. I need to get some cash flow generated. Do it for 2 weeks. So he's never had trouble selling rods, but I can understand a lot of manufacturers and whatnot be on the freak out with 2.3 million people filed for unemployment last week, which is crazy. I know all the stimulus stuff and all that. You know, I'm not going to get into the politics. I'm blessed to be able to work, even though I'm not guaranteed to get 40 hours a week. At least I'm getting something. I really need to trim my beard. Let's see. What Dobbins do I like for skipping and pitching docks? Oh, that's a Levi question. If you get on eBay, also Evergreen's jackhammer rod will handle a 6XD. It is a good cranking rod too, Thomas. The Daiwa Tatula Elite 8-foot cranking rod's a great rod to handle all the way from like a DT10 Rapala all the way to an 8XD. It's not quite stiff enough for 10XD, but it's great for like a cloud 10, 15, 20, 6XDs. But it's $160, $170. So there's so many good choices out there when it comes to rods these days. What you writing down? Brooks is writing down the names of all the 6 cents baits. So what are you doing that so you can remember them? I got you.
Well, not all of them, but some of them.
Some of them. See how many people are watching the stream right now. I don't have that information in my desk. 122 people watching. Awesome. I appreciate all you guys that are watching in. Dude, Lux 8-foot crank rod, really solid from Colin J. I like my 7-1 Lux. I probably need to buy that cloud cranker rod. All right, Corey Lovelace says, I'm going to grab a 6-inch rod, Divine or Lux. I personally, if I'm going to spend the money on one and I'm not going to throw a cranking rod, I'm going to buy the Sensory. Cole can probably give you his opinion on there. I think the Lux is really good for moving baits and stuff like that. If you want bottom contact, I would either go with the Divine or the Sensory. I love the Sensory rod I got. The 7.2 medium heavy. Great for small jigs, Texas rigs, stuff like that. What rod do I recommend for a 10XD? A Dobbins 806 CB or a G-Loomis 959 DD. That's the two best rods I've ever used for a 10XD. And I sold my Loomis. The problem, one of the reasons I sold it is they changed up the blanks on those cranking rods, and I was afraid if I broke it, I was going to be back into an IMX 959. So I've kind of wanted to swap back over to the Dobbins, and that way, if I break it, I know what I'm going with. That 8-foot 6-inch rod will handle a 10XD too, but I've heard some guys say that the St. Croix Legend Glass, the big 8-footer, is really good for 10XD, but I've not used a Cash and 10XD rod. I know some people have, and I like Cash and rods, but I think it's a little stiff. I'm really, and I mean really picky on cranking rods, especially deep cranking. 6 Cents has a new prop and frog. I got one in my frog box over here, but they're being held up in China. Why do I say it like that? Because that's how Donald Trump says it. He said it in China. He did too. Do you like Donald Trump, Brooks? No? Orange man bad? You don't care, do you? That's how we should be. Do you support the president of the United States? Oh, he's not your president, huh? It's all right. You're 6. You don't have to worry about. You
no, I'm
worry
7.
about. Oh, my bad. You're 7. You don't have to worry about politics. I'm glad you're not like the stay-at-home mom that posts on Facebook all day. The 805 is good, Shady. It's a little bit more limber than the 806. I like the 806 glass. That's my jam right there. All right, that's a good question, Andrew. What's a rod and reel setup you would throw kill-weighted swim baits on? So you're going to get a lot of guys that tell you on a swim bait you need a really, really stiff rod. If you're going to throw kill-weighted swim baits, I would use my frog rod. That's kind of what I use, a 734, 735, something like that. It's been on my channel. You've seen me throw a Scottsboro and a Bass Tricks on a 7'3" dowel pitch and flipping rod. It's got some backbone, but I got a little soft tip so I can skip that bait and get it out there. Loads up real well. You want a rod that's got some good backbone to it, but it's got a little flex in the tip so you can cast it out there and let those fish eat that bait. Dude, let me get some funds together, Black Dog. I'd love to come out there. Maybe I'll save my vacation hours and come out this fall so you can put me on that punker bite or something like that. But that's definitely something I would love to do on this channel, is start traveling around to different states and lakes and checking out tackle shops and local favorites and hanging out with bait makers, man. I would love to just hang out in the Black Dog bait warehouse, shop, whatever you got, and we'll talk some baits and listen to some 80s rock and 90s alternative music and come up with the next $1 million idea. St. Croix Bass X are good rods for the money. They're a very nice rod. What type of baits are you adding a swim bait trailer to? I put a swim bait on the back of a spinner bait. I do it on bladed jigs and swim jigs. That's kind of my favorite deal. I really like to put a swim bait on the back of a bladed jig. I've kind of changed my stance. I used to not want to do the Kitech thing. So now I just use that Hog Farmer Spunk Shad. Look at this list. Look at Brooks's list. He knows all the 6 cents baits. Craig Powers cranks are badass. Dude, we need some G2s there, Jeremy. Put that out last week. Everybody's asking where to get them.
My cheeks are red.
Huh? Your cheeks are red? That's because you went outside today. Dude, castaway rods were awesome back in the day. They used to make the best composite crankbait rods out there. The Mini Launcher 2. Those were great rods. I used to be a big castaway guy. Dude, Casey was the first person to ask to be on Baitman Raw. And he said, man, I'm not a good interviewer. Let Ben do it. And I was cool with that. He had a lot of things going on.
Fine.
Dude, Dave Thomas said, I sent you an email of a fish I got on a flat 75 on Jink Juice, 21.5 inches long. Well, guess what? I got my cell phone here, Dave, so I'm going to put this up. Let's see here. I'll search my inbox.
Dog me. Okay. Dog me. I'm going back where he was.
I don't see it. J. Kumar emailed me. I got a reply. What custom color G2 does BaitmanJr want? Brooks, somebody's want to make you a custom bait. What color you want?
Green.
Green? Just green. Green and what other color?
Red.
Green and red. Think you can pull that off? A green and red? You want red on the side or red on the top?
Red on the top.
Red on the top, green on the side. So we'll call it what? Fried green tomato? Fried green tomato G2. That's what he's saying. Now, if he sends you this bait, you got to put it in your box, okay?
Okay.
All right. You can't be flipping your bait on Swim Bait Universe, all right?
Okay.
He said he won't be flipping his bait. Yeah, I did see where 5x3 is under new management. Hopefully, the cult is over there and someone that can actually turn that into a respectable company. So, yeah, I don't know when more babes are coming. Probably in a couple weeks. I'm hoping. What is the beer you put a lime in Mexico? A Sharona. Dude, Straight Cash, nice name. Bought the Straight Cash homie babe swim bait because of you. Caught a 3.5 in Idaho. Not bad up here. Dude, I know that Idaho has some really good smallmouth fishing. I can't say who, but I know a couple people going up there. No, I've got some. I'm not sick. I just got some really bad sinus issues going on. And they cleared up a couple weeks ago, and then the weather started getting cold and changing again, and it's got me all jacked up. 7.9 Fury is actually a pretty good treble bait rod. Bull shads, stuff like that, Chad shads, not real heavy. You know, the sweet spot on that rod is about 3.5 ounces, 3 to 4 ounces. It's a really good, heavy, a bull shad. I wouldn't overload it. You're not going to be able to throw a Depths 250 on it or some of the big heavier swim baits, but you could throw like a S-Waver 168, 6 to 8 inch bull shad, a Chad shad, and you can throw stuff like, you could throw the small 6 inch Working Class Zero Citizen, stuff like that. Really good. What line am I using for a hammertail shad? Same thing I use for all my big swim baits, 20 pound Sunline Assassin. If I could use one plastic swim bait, what would it be in hook and line size? That is a 6 inch Bastrix, hitch number 1 color. And I would belly hook it with the 6/0 Owner Beast and 17-pound line. That is my favorite swim bait ever made, period. Caught so many fish on that thing. And what I like about the bass tricks is you can fish it really deep if you rig it on a jig head, or really shallow. It's just, when they run, it's great. Favorite Loomis finesse rod? Ooh, I would go with the 852 NRX. That's a really, really good finesse rod. I don't know. I've not seen any of the custom painted baits from Dix. My Dix is getting rid of fishing tackle stuff. So, I gotta answer a few questions real quick. Let's see. Baitman, what are those little bottles above my left shoulder? So this right here is Dying to Fish Dye. You know what? They've got this cool product right here called a dye safe, so you can dye stuff, and instead of spilling it on your boat, I gotta move my laptop back for a little bit if I don't break nothing. Comes in this Plano style box, and you see it's got a foam insert in it, so you take your dye and you set it right here in the middle like that. And you know what? Let's dye something real quick. Let's find something we can put the dye to. Let's see if we can make something cool here. I don't want to do that. That's already good looking. Yeah, see if I got something I can dye here. Gotta show up real good on camera. Whoop. Maybe we want a little chartreuse on this 6-cent Corex swim bait. Maybe we want a little chartreuse tail on it. It's strong, boy. Woo! It's got some garlic smell to it. I just take the tail. The longer you hold it in there, the better it sits in there. And then boom, have me. And you can kind of lay it there on the foam, and you don't have to worry about it, leaking out onto anything. But now I've got a chartreuse tail. You can't see it real good with the webcam, but it's definitely chartreuse. I just about closed this without putting the lid back on. But that is the dye safe. It's a pretty cool product made here in Western Kentucky. But those are just loose bottles of dye. Let's see. Fixing to open Dave's email. Have not tried the Plano Edge. Going on first guide trip with my dad and Ron Kelly. Any advice on fishing guides? Yeah. So I tell this to guys all the time, especially in the hunting world. Don't guide the guide. Those guys do it for a living. I think fishing wise, it's not near as bad. But remember, it's a wild animal. Fish don't always bite every day. Deer don't always cooperate either. But Ronnie's a great fisherman, and you're going to be entertained. What? Boatman has some citizens back there? Yeah, man. I got Citizen 6. I got Citizen 7. I got Battle Sheds. I even got more citizens up here. Hey, Ben Bait, do you want some true bait swim baits? I can get you some if you want. I was actually going to order some on Tackle Warehouse this week, and they were out of the color I wanted. So, hey, Dustin, be careful at work, bud. I know how that life of corrections is. Even though I worked in a juvenile facility, which I feel like is worse because we couldn't do nothing back to those turds when they got out of line. So, stay safe out there, brother. Keep catching some fish. Kayak Bros. Never heard of that. My buddy, Brent Anderson, he's got a deal called Vero Trophy Bass Lakes there in Vero Beach, Florida, and they catch a ton of bass. Don G, I haven't tried the Plano Edge box. Some of those boxes I really like, just from the looks, and then some of them, like their deep crank box, I can fit way more in my Bass Mafia box than I can that. So I've not tried Dixie Custom rods, but I've heard a lot of good things about them. Dude, you're about to kill that crush, dude. We've been streaming for an hour and 10 minutes.
Hey, you see that?
You like orange drink? Because of why? The Vols? Does it taste good? Yeah, it looks like it. But anyway, well, guys, I don't really have a whole lot more to add to this stream. I just kind of got on here I was bored. Thought I'd shoot the crap with y'all. I hadn't uploaded a video this week, and I got to get up about 5 a.m. Let me check this email, David, and see if it's come in here. See if it's going to my junk email. I don't know why it would do that.
I just noticed I put this on me. I put this sticker on me.
You put a sticker on you?
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. And it says Jaints. Gotta show off this right here. Gotta show this off. It's gonna load up. The dye box, Die Safe. Their website is, I think it's dyesafe.com. Oh yeah, check this. Got this Jaint on a flat 75. Check that out. And Jaint juice. Look at your mug there, David. That's a big one. A date Jaint juice for. I got another email. I guess we're gonna show off some subscriber photos real quick before I sign off here. It's got downloading. This one's from Sycamore Outdoors. Hey Michael, if you gotta head out, man, I'll be following you pretty soon. No problem, Cole. I need to get Cole and Jay on a Baitman Raw. Oh my gosh. Ha! This is when you know you're using the right frog bait. The dude caught a bullfrog on a bullfrog. That right there is impressive. I don't know who you are. Care who you are. As Larry the Cable Guy said, I don't care who you are, that's funny. That is impressive. I think it might have been trying to mate. If you don't mind, Sycamore, I'm going to forward that to my man Jay Kumar over at Bass Blaster. You never know who the Baitman knows and where your stuff might show up. So, but anyways, Chad Zone, again, appreciate that $50 donation tonight. We'll put it to good use.
And maybe we can give it to me too.
Oh, Brooke says maybe I can give him the $50 donation. You know what? I might can do that.
We can like split it up.
I'm gonna get Epic Eric on here Saturday. I think I'm going to send him a message on Instagram, and we're going to talk some finesse, soft plastics, some tricks and tips to catch finicky bass during the spring. And who knows, man? Eric is just all over the place, and he's a good dude, and I enjoy having him on here. So we'll get the kinks worked out. Our audio will be better than last time, and we'll get Epic Eric on here. So anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining in tonight. I appreciate it. Random stream. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell, so if I decide to go live anytime, you're going to see it. So thanks you guys so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Take this time to spend with your families. I know I've seen people complaining about their kids being home from school and all that, but you know what? I enjoy hanging out with this dude right here.
With the fish king ever.
Oh, yeah. So, thanks, guys, so much. Y'all have a wonderful evening. God bless you all. Peace. Hit the dab, Brooks.